Hey guys, welcome back to our channel TechVenue. What is computer hardware? Hardware is all the physical components of a computer. The stuff you can actually see and touch. The components of a computer hardware are monitor, mouse, keyboard, central processing unit, motherboard, computer data storage, etc. Hardware helps in storing and running the software. One of the basic computer hardware is motherboard. It is also called as mainboard. The motherboard serves to connect all the parts of a computer together. It can also be called as the backbone of a computer. Now let's talk about all the components of a computer hardware. CPU. CPU is the abbreviation for Central Processing Unit. The CPU is known as the brain of the computer. It is sometimes referred as a central processor, but most commonly known as processor. CPUs are typically differentiated based on their respective specification. The most relevant information to differentiate one processor from another is firstly its core architecture. The core architecture basically determines whether the CPU is a 32-bit or a 64-bit variant. It will encompass specifications such as clock frequency, cache levels, respective sizes, stepping versions, and fabrication process sizes. There are two typical components of CPU. The Arithmetic Logic Unit (ALU), which performs arithmetic and logical operations, and the Control Unit, which extracts instructions from memory, decodes and executes them. Motherboard. The motherboard is the main circuit board of your computer. If you ever open your computer, the biggest piece of silicon you see is the motherboard. Attached to the motherboard, you will find CPU, RAM, RAM expansion slots, PCI slots, and USB ports. It also includes controllers for devices like the hard drive, DVD drive, keyboard, and mouse. Basically, the motherboard is what makes everything in your computer work together. Every motherboard has a collection of chips and controllers known as the chipset. Random access memory or RAM. RAM is the memory that the computer can use randomly. This is the memory that is kept available for the programs to use. The memory available is measured in gigabytes and speed is measured in megahertz. This means the more RAM a computer has, the faster it will operate and will be able to operate more software at the same time. This memory is known as a volatile memory as it is lost when the system is powered off, which is why we save our games or work and they go to storage. Hard disk drive. Every desktop computer, laptop, and netbook contains a hard disk drive. The hard disk drive, better known as the hard drive, is one of the most vital components in a computer. The hard drive stores information for the computer in a non-volatile way, meaning that when the user shuts off the computer, all the information he saved will still be there when he turns the computer back on. In the present scenario, hard drives can store an enormous amount of information. Solid-state drive or SSD. A solid-state drive is a type of computer storage media made from silicon microchips. It is an electronic storage drive built on solid-state storage architecture to store data persistently. SSDs lack any moving mechanical components, unlike traditional hard disk drives that contain movable read-write heads and spinning disks. SSDs are rapidly becoming a popular alternative to hard disk drives as permanent storage, particularly in PCs. Because of their small size, faster read access, shock resistance, low power consumption as compared to hard disk drives. Graphics card. The graphics card is one of the most important parts in the computer. It does all the hard work of changing the information sent from the computer to show a picture on your computer screen. A graphics card is an expansion card for your PC that is responsible for rendering images to the display. High-end GPUs are used for gaming, ray tracing, graphics production, and even mining cryptocurrency. At the core of the graphics card is the Graphics Processing Unit or GPU, which is the main component that performs computations. The graphics card is made in the form of an expansion board and inserted into an expansion slot. As the processing power of graphics card has increased, the demand for electrical power has also increased. Current high-performance graphics cards tend to consume large amount of power. Power supply. The power supply of a computer is an important unit as far as the functionality of a computer is concerned. It is made up of several electronic components that convert and transform the electrical power from the national grid to suitable power with parameter specifications required for the computer. Case. The computer case protects and supports internal parts of a computer such as motherboard, power supply, disk drives, and also regulates the flow of cooling air on the internal components. It encompasses most of the components of a computer. Large tower cases provide space for multiple disk drives or other peripherals and usually stand on the floor. Input and output devices. The computer will be of no use unless it is able to communicate with the outside world. Input and output devices are required for the users to communicate with the computer. In simple terms, input devices bring information into the computer and output devices bring information out of the computer. These input-output devices are also known as the peripherals since they enclose the CPU and memory of a computer system. The most common input devices used by the computer are the keyboard and mouse. The keyboard allows the entry of textual information while the mouse allows the selection of a point on the screen by moving screen cursor to the point and pressing a mouse button. The most common devices are monitors and speakers. Monitor. A monitor is an electronic visual display for computers. The monitor comprises of display device, circuitry, and an enclosure. The display device in modern monitors is typically a thin film transistor or crystal ray tube. Speaker. Computer speakers or multimedia speakers are speakers external to a computer that disable the lower fidelity built-in speaker. They often have a low-power internal amplifier. Printer. In computing, a printer is a peripheral which produces a hard copy of documents stored in electronic form, usually on physical print medium such as paper or transparencies. Many printers are first and foremost used as a local peripherals and are attached by a printer cable, or in the most new printers, a USB cable is attached to a computer which serves as document source. Well, that's it for the video guys. If you like this video, hit the like button and support us by subscribing our channel. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comment section. We read every single comment in the comment section. Stay tuned for the next video. Signing off, TechVenue.